Hello students, so welcome back to day 68 of 99% in 99 days. So as you all know, we have already started solving sample papers and we have already completed sample paper 1 and 2. So today we are going to discuss the chemistry solutions of sample paper 3. Okay, so now I'll be telling you the question pattern here. So you will be having MCQ 1 marker questions, then you will be having, so just a minute. Okay, so 2 marker question you have 1, okay, for chemistry, so that accounts to 2 marks, and in 3 marker there are 2 questions, so 6 marks. In 5 marker there is 1 question, 5 marks, and in 4 marker there is 1 question, so 4 marks. Okay, and here MCQs will be 8 questions, where 7 questions will be MCQ and 1 question will be your assertion and reason based question. Okay, so just a minute. Yeah, fine. So now let us see the first question here, that is question number 1. The change in color of the moist litmus paper in the given setup is due to. Okay, so if you see here, what we have taken sodium chloride and you have added a dropper containing concentrated sulfuric acid. Okay, sodium chloride is there and a dropper containing sulfuric acid is there. Okay, so in that case what will happen? So when a reaction will take, you will get some delivery tube, some gases is removed, and from that you have a moist litmus paper here. So which gas will be removed, like which gas will be produced here? Sodium chloride and dilute sulfuric acid. So you will get H2 gas. When it comes in contact with water, you get H plus ions. Okay, so H plus ions will turn the litmus paper. Okay, so we get due to the presence of H plus ions in the solution, so that is only 3, option number C. Okay, next coming to question number 2, here this is a redox reaction. Many times these questions have been asked. So if you see MnO2 to MnCl2, you are removing oxygen, right? So MnO2 is undergoing reduction, right? So MnO2 is reduced, this is oxidized, eliminate these 2 options. Now if you see HCl to Cl2, hydrogen is removed means oxidation. So I can say that HCl is oxidized to H2, H2O, or HCl is oxidized to Cl2. So that is Cl2. So option number B is the correct answer here. Okay, fine. Next question number 3, which of the following is the correct observation of the reactions shown in the above setup? So if you see this reaction, you have magnesium oxide, a watch glass, and then you have a pair of tongue and you have taken a magnesium ribbon and you are burning it, right? So we all know that in this case what happens, magnesium ribbon burns with a white brilliant light. Okay, you can see here. So that is option number C. Okay, next, which of the following reference to 4 gases, which on the option is correct? Okay, so if you see, CO is a non-metallic oxide, so it will definitely be acidic, right? This is correct. Next, Cl2 is used in the treatment of water, chlorine gas, yes, this is also correct. O2 is a product of respiration, no. O2 is taken and CO2 is a product of respiration, so we can eliminate these 2. Okay, 1 second, just a minute. Okay, so we can eliminate these 2. Now here if you see, this one eliminated, here also if you see, we have these 2 options, right? But here used in the treatment of water, oxygen, that is also incorrect. So I cannot eliminate this option, I am going to eliminate this option, I am going to eliminate this option. So I am only left with this particular option, that is option number B. Okay, fine. So just a minute, option number B will be the correct answer. Next, on placing a copper coin in a test tube containing green ferrous sulfate solution, it will be observed that ferrous sulfate solution. So you are having ferrous sulfate solution, okay, and if you are taking copper in that. Okay, so we know that iron is more reactive than copper, but copper is less reactive than iron, so copper will not be able to replace iron from here. So what will happen? There will be no change, remains green with no change in the copper coin, option number D. Okay, yes. Next, Anita added a drop each of dilute acetic acid and diluted hydrochloric acid on pH paper and compared the colors. Which of the following is the correct option? So pH of acetic acid is more than of a hydrochloric acid. Yes, that is correct. We know less the acidity, more will be the pH, and acetic acid is a weaker acid. So its pH will be definitely more, right. So pH of acetic acid is more than that of hydrochloric acid. That is why this is correct option. Next you have question number 7. The formulas of the 4 organic compounds are shown below. Choose the correct option. Okay. So A and B are unsaturated hydrocarbons. You can see A is unsaturated because we are having carbon-carbon double bond, but in B there is no carbon-carbon double bond, right. Okay. C and D are saturated hydrocarbons. Yes, they are hydrocarbons, but D you see there is also OH is present. Okay. Next, addition of hydrogen gas in presence of catalyst changes A to C. Yes, this is a correct statement, right, because if you do hydrogenation we will get this one. So option number C here. Okay. Addition of potassium permanganate changes B to D. No, if you add potassium permanganate to D you will get B. Okay, not B to D, it changes D to B. Okay. Next, coming to question number 17, assertion reason question. So here a question is, silver bromide decomposition is used in black and white photography. Yes, that is correct. Light provides energy for this exothermic reaction. Okay. Now first of all, this is not an exothermic process because light is providing energy, right. So this is an endothermic reaction. So assertion is correct, but reason is false, option number C. Okay. Next we will go to 2-marker question. So we have one 2-marker question, that is a clear solution of slaked lime is made by dissolving calcium hydroxide in excess of water. This solution is left exposed to air. The solution slowly goes milky as a faint white precipitate forms. Now explain why a faint white precipitate forms. Support your response with the help of a chemical equation. So this is a 2-marker question, right. So first you have to write why a faint white precipitate is formed, then you have to write the equation for another 1 mark. Okay. So the white precipitate is formed due to the formation of faint white precipitate forms due to the production of calcium carbonate. Okay, now I will show the reactions also. So this is one question, or part is also there. Kirti added dilute hydrochloric acid to 4 metals and recorded her observation as shown in the given table. Select the correct observation and give chemical equation of the reaction involved. So again you have to select which one is correct and then you have to write the reaction involved in that, right. So first of all, with copper if you HCl there will be no gas evolved. So this observation is wrong. Okay. Iron with HCl will give you correct. Okay. Magnesium will give you, but they have told you no, right. So this is also incorrect. Next, zinc with also will give you, so this is also correct. So these 2 observations are correct. You can mention any one of them or you can mention 2 of them and you have to write the reactions. So let us see the answer here. Now calcium hydroxide reacts with calcium dioxide present in the atmosphere to form calcium carbonate, which results in the milkiness or white PPT formation. Okay, that is the first thing. Reaction calcium hydroxide plus carbon dioxide will give you calcium carbonate plus water. Okay. Next, you know Fe and Zn both are your correct one. So you can Fe plus HCl give you FeCl2 or FeCl3 plus H2. Zn plus HCl will give you ZnCl2 plus H2. So you have to write both the reactions and get 2 marks here. Okay, it is like that. No deduction for balancing or state. Okay, so if you do not balance also there won't be any deduction, but it is my suggestion always to balance the reaction. Okay. Next we will go to 3-marker question. This is the first question. Identify the types of reaction mentioned above in 1 and 2. Give one example for each type in the form of a balanced chemical equation. Okay. So if you see this is your displacement reaction, it is double displacement reaction. So you have to first name them. If you name them correctly, half mark you will get 1 mark. Then if you give one example here and one example here, you will get 2 marks, so total 3 marks. So you can see the first one, if you write single displacement or displacement, you will get half mark. Example, Fe plus CuSO4, Zn plus CuSO4, Pb plus CuCl2, any one of these reaction you can write. Next, double displacement reaction carries 1 mark. Here is an example, sodium sulphate plus barium chloride will give you barium sulphate plus sodium chloride. Okay. Now any one of these reaction or other double displacement reactions also you can write. This is one of the example. Okay. Now we'll go to the second 3-marker question. Identify the gases involved at the anode and cathode in the above experimental setup. So if you can see, this is the electrolysis of brine solution. So these products I think everybody would have remembered by now. At cathode you will get H2, at anode you will get chlorine, and in the solution NaOH is produced. Right? Name the process that occurs and why is it called so. This process is called as chlor-alkali process because of the products formed, chlorine and alkali. Next, illustrate the reaction of the process with the help of a chemical equation. Okay. So this carries half of mark. Identify the gases as at anode and cathode, half of 1 mark. Then name the process that occurs and why is it called so, half of again 1 mark, 2 mark, and here reaction carries 1 mark. Okay. So you can see at anode chlorine, cathode hydrogen, so you get 1 mark here. Chlor-alkali process, as the products obtained are alkali and chlorine gas and hydrogen gas. Next reaction, NaCl plus H2O with electric current or electrolysis, NaOH plus Cl2 plus H2. Okay. Fine. Now coming to the 5-marker question. So Srishti heated ethanol with a compound A. Okay. So Srishti heated ethanol with a compound A. Okay. Plus I am writing A. In the presence of a few drops of concentrated sulfuric acid and observed a sweet smelling compound B. Okay. This is your sweet smelling compound B. Now when B is treated with sodium hydroxide, okay, it gives back ethanol and a compound C. Ethanol and a compound C. Okay. So identify A and C. So you know ethanol is there, so it is reacting with A, right. So it, and B is a sweet smelling compound, so it has to be an ester, right. Now this one, if we know that acids react with alcohols to give you esters, right. So here we already have alcohol, so this must be 1 carboxylic acid. You can write any carboxylic acid here. You can write ethanoic acid, propanoic acid, methanoic acid, any carboxylic acid is fine. Next what happens? So B is there, which is an ester formed. After that, when you treat NaOH, you will, suppose you have written here ethanoic acid, here you will get sodium salt of ethanoic acid, or that means CH3COONA. If you have taken propanoic acid, sodium salt of propanoic acid. So C depends on what B you have taken, sorry, C depends on what A you have considered. Okay. Next, give one use of each of A and B. A is your again acid and B, suppose A is ethanoic acid, you can write its use, it is used in vinegar, and B it is your what? Ester, right. So you can use ester, it is used as a flavoring agent. Next, write the chemical reactions involved and name the reaction. So here is the chemical reaction involved you have to write, and this chemical reaction you have to write. This is known as esterification, this part is known as saponification. Okay. I will be showing you the answers as well. Next, what is the role of concentrated sulfuric acid when it is heated with ethanol at 443 Kelvin? Give the reaction involved. So this is your elimination reaction, you will get ethene as a product, and what is the role of concentrated sulfuric acid? It is a dehydrating agent. Okay, let me tell you the mark distribution here first. See, here if you write I can say half and half mark, this one will carry 1 mark. Okay, one use of each, so 1 plus 1, here you will get 2 mark. And this question, write the chemical reactions and the name. So esterification and its reaction, if you write, that will carry 1 mark, and saponification and its reaction, that will give you 1 mark. So total 5 marks. Okay. Next, if we have what is the role of, this will give you 1 mark, and the reaction if you write, this will give you 2 marks. Okay. Next, Rishu by mistake forgot to level the 2 test tubes containing ethanol and ethanoic acid. Suggest an experiment to identify the substance correctly. Illustrate the reactions with the help of chemical equations. Okay. So you have to get 3 marks here. First you suggest one experiment, that will carry 1 mark. Reactions if you write, that will carry another 2 marks. Okay. So let me show you the answer here. The first one is ethanoic acid or any other carboxylic acid you can take. Okay. Now see, if you have taken ethanoic acid, here it will be sodium salt of ethanoic acid, or any other carboxylic acid whichever you have taken. I told you C will depend on what A you have chosen. But yes, next use of A, that is your ethanoic acid. It is used in a vinegar and in other cooking. Okay. Next, your use of B, that is ester. It is used in the making perfumes and flavoring agents. Okay. Now reactions, if you know CH3COH plus C2H5OH concentrated H2SO4, this will be the reaction and it carries, the name of this reaction is esterification. Okay. So this name and reaction will give you 1 mark. Next, if you have this one ester with NaOH, you will get sodium salt and ethanol, and this is known as saponification reaction. Okay. Again, name and reaction will give you 1 mark, right. Now coming to the OR part, so what is the use of sulfuric acid? It is used as a dehydrating agent, that will give you 1 mark. And how to write the reaction? C2H5OH at concentrated H2SO4 and 443 Kelvin will give you C2H4. This will give you 1 mark. So total 2 marks. Next, next part, by reaction with sodium carbonate or bicarbonate. What is the experimental setup you are telling? That is the reaction with sodium carbonate or bicarbonate you can differentiate, that will give you 1 mark. Okay. Next, how will you differentiate? With the samples, ethanol will not react, whereas ethanoic acid reacts with brisk effervescence. Okay. Now if you write the reaction, acid with sodium carbonate, acid with sodium bicarbonate. Okay. So that gives you 1 mark, so total 3 marks. Okay. So next, coming to your case based question or 4 marker question. So here a question is there, 2 students decided to investigate the effect of water and air on iron object under identical experimental conditions. They measured the mass of each object before placing it partially immersed in 10 ml of water. After a few days, the objects were removed, dried, and their masses were measured. The table shows the results. So for A, the object was nail, before it was 3 grams and after it became 3.15 gram, and thin plate was 6 gram and after it became 6.33 gram. Okay, now the questions are like this. What might be the reason for the varied observation of the 2 students? So you see in both the cases the mass has increased, but here the mass has increased by 0.15 and here the mass has increased by 0.33. What is the reason for that? Second, in another setup, the students coated iron nails with zinc metal and noted that iron nails coated with zinc prevents rusting. They also observed that zinc initially acts as a physical barrier, but an extra advantage of using zinc is that it continues to prevent rusting even if the layer of zinc is damaged. Now name this process of rust prevention and give any 2 methods to prevent rusting. Okay. So naming will give you 1 mark and 2 methods will give you 3 mark. And this particular explanation will give you 1 mark. Okay. So let us quickly see here. After that we will go to the OR question. So first, rusting occurs in both A and B. So there is an increase in mass, the first thing. As the surface area of B is more, extent of rusting is more. That is why mass increased is also more. Okay. The second one was the name galvanization, and 2 other methods you can use: oiling, greasing, painting, alloying, chromium plating, or any other. Any 2 you have to write from here. Okay. Now coming to this OR question, in which of the following applications of iron rusting will occur most? Support your answer with reason. Okay, so where the rusting will happen most, and you have to write a reason for that. The first one is iron bucket electroplated with zinc, that will be there, or electricity cables having iron wires covered with aluminium, iron hinges on the gate, and painted iron fence. So you have seen here we have already protected it with zinc. Here also we have protected with aluminium. Here there is no protection, and there also we have protected with paint. So where the rusting will be highest? In case of C. Okay. So that can be read. So iron hinges on the gate will rust first. It is because it is in direct contact with the atmospheric oxygen and moisture or water vapor. So this carries 2 marks. Okay. So it is like this. See, this OR question is for the B part. Okay. So this one definitely will carry 1 mark. This is 3 marks, or you have to attempt this one which carries 3 marks. Okay. So yes, students, so that's all in this class, and I hope that you have solved these papers. If you have any doubt in any question, please comment down. I'll definitely address. Okay. That's all, and see you soon in the next episode.